Hey everyone, I'm Michael and welcome back to Back Alley Bonsai. It has been a long, hot summer here in Los Angeles and I am excited to be back out here in the alley working on some of my trees. Today I'm going to be working on this Monterey Cypress. This is one that's been in my collection for a couple of years now. It's got some movement in it, but it doesn't have a ton of taper. I'm going to bring you in close and I'll show you what I'm looking at here. You can see here that got some movement in here. I wired this up a couple of years ago. We can see some wiring scars in there. And the movement looks pretty nice. It's got a pretty good curve to it. The problem is that it's basically the same thickness all the way up. I've got this leader up here, which goes up another couple of feet or so. And it just doesn't look very nice. But it is very robust. It's pretty healthy in the pot. So I think what I need to do is figure out a new planting angle for it and give it some thought with that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. The first thing that I'm actually going to do on this is take off this leader. It's just way too long. It's got a big straight section right here, which isn't very nice. And it's got absolutely no taper all the way up it. So I'm just going to start off by taking that off completely. It's a big cut. And there we go. Big old chunk off of that. And that leaves us with something a little bit more manageable. And what I'm thinking about for this is to actually modify the planting angle on it from this to something maybe a little bit more like that, which will then get me a little bit more out of the movement and maybe even cut this back even further. So again, this whole section right here is really long and straight and I don't much care for it. There's a lot of really dense growth in here too. I'm thinking maybe this branch may well be my long-term dedicated branch. What I'm trying to do is picture the plant without that. Don't focus on my hand. Focus on the tree. Yeah, I think that actually looks pretty good. Take that off of there, right there, like that. Yeah, well, I can always take a little bit off and see what happens incrementally. So we'll just take this off. Okay. Maybe wire this up into being a new apex. Although there's another couple of well-positioned branches even behind that one. Some growth back here. There's a little young bud coming out right behind it. Now there's another one right here as well, which could maybe be wired upwards. Either way, let's go ahead and take this off. Oof. And then I could wire this branch upwards into being a new leader. Or another alternative would be to change the planting angle more like that. And then I could just make this into my leader. See how that looks from another angle. Yeah, I think either way this big chunk up here has to come off. I could wire that up. This is all out of control. I'm just gonna take off the strongest growing parts there. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this off right here. All right. So before I wire this, I'm going to clean up some of the growth on this branch. There's a lot of very thick, coarse growth, probably more than I really need. So I think I'm just going to take this off way back here. Yep. And that gives me a little bit that I can work with and wire. Pull that out. All right, and next up to do a little bit of wiring. So for this bit, I've just got a scrap bit of wire. I already used this piece a couple of times. I'm going to use it again. This stuff will work harden after a while, but it's okay for now. This wire is probably overkill for this, but like I said, it's scrap. Make sure I have my eye on my final planting angle on this thing. Pull this bit up. Okay, like that. See if I can bend this down a bit. Sure can. I can also begin to tear it apart, which is not what I wanted, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Too many branches growing in here. Take out this one. A couple of them that are just going straight down, which I don't really want. Tiny one there, take that out. And take this one off as well. There we go. So now all I'm going to do is just wire these two together. Just very carefully, because the two branches are actually very thin and fine. I just kind of want to move them just slightly out of the way. Not really hurting either of them. Put a little loop in that one. Get over there. Same thing with this one, just a little loop at the end to hold on to it. Tip that one down. And now for this one, Just neighborhood dogs are in a bad mood today. And just gently wrapping this. This is just in the loosest sense a branch. And then just pull that till it's pointing upwards like so. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. It doesn't look like much right now, but sometimes that is what happens. I've got a nice, stable, healthy base to build on. Clean up a couple of these little stumps and nubs, and then in the springtime when I go to repot this, I will plant it probably at this angle or something very close to it, and I think it's going to look really nice. Well, that's it, everybody, for the fall pruning of my Monterey Cypress. As always, have yourselves a wonderful day.